we have a very special guest in the studio today. We have the band Time Being. They are an Ithaca Underground band. And would you guys just like to introduce yourselves? What do you guys do in the band, outside of the band, etc.?
For sure. I'm Mario. I play drums.
I'm John. I do like electronics and bass.
And I'm Ethan. I play guitar.
Awesome. And so you guys played a show last night at the Chanticleer, and you're also playing Naked Noise tonight. So how was the show last night, and how would you compare it to what's going to be happening tonight?
I mean, they're both going to be bangers. They're both going to be great. I mean...
Well, if we had a time travel machine, they would both be great. One of them was already great, I think. Yeah, Chanticleer Show was great. It's an interesting space. It was a lot of fun. We played between a couple like noisy, pretty abrasive, well, not abrasive, but aggressive solo acts. And they were really great.
Good.
They were really
cool.
great. And they fit the vibe really well. And then we kind of were leaned back a little bit, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, we tried to be a little more relaxed.
Yeah, that's definitely how our DJs who caught you there last night were trying to describe it, that you guys were kind of like a tone change. So, speaking of that, how would you describe your music for those who might have not heard of your music before?
Well, our palette's definitely always changing. We like to play for the space. We kind of started off doing a lot of improv ambience. Mario, as a percussionist, he can definitely speak for himself, but, he's does a lot of, experimental takes on how to do percussion softly. Ethan does a lot of, and myself will do a lot of, washing sounds. And then we also develop into usually, very arranged, whether it's more on-the-nose rock arrangements into a little more, I'd say, experimental electroacoustic arrangements. So we always like to kind of mix up our palettes from song to song.
Yeah, and you guys seem like you're very different and diverse musicians. So how'd you guys get together and decide to start playing music together?
Well, John and I have known each other for, I don't even know, 9 or 10 years now?
Yeah,
we've known each other since, middle school. And around, I guess, high school, when we were actually both, deep in music, we were like, at some point, we should play together and really start something up, Why not?
Really what happened is I made a little EP under the name Beacons Billowing, and Mario just recorded drums over the entire thing. It was like, we're in a band now.
That's a quick way to make friends.
Indeed.
And so, are you guys local from the area?
So that was where
that's where I come in. So John and I went to school together at Cornell, and we started making music together pretty much right off the bat, and then we kind of when we realized that this is somewhat serious, we actually want to try to make this a project, we need a percussionist. And John's like, I have it all figured out. I have Mario, and Mario was going to school upstate, and so we kind of did the long distance band thing for a while.
Lots of Skyping.
Lots of Skyping.
Yeah.
Lots of Skyping.
Yeah.
And how did you guys first get involved with Ithaca Underground or the Ithaca scene in general?
I mean, I guess it's just, when we were trying to find our way in, we had a friend of ours who was helping us book shows at the time, and then the name Bubba came up, obviously, because he's...
A very mystical name.
Very mystical. And then, the name came up, and we finally met with him, and he was kind of took us in and really just booked us all over the place. And, I mean, Ithaca Underground has come so far since when, we were there, and, I mean, Bubba's just... a genius.
Yeah.
He's really incredible man.
We played more Ithaca Underground shows in the year. So after we all graduated, well, Mario and I graduated. John still had one more year at school, and we were gigging around Ithaca. We played a ton of Ithaca Underground shows, probably more than we played in New York City.
Yeah,
and we lived there. But Bubba just it was right when things were, as Mario said, right when things were getting off the ground, and he just kind of kept booking us in shows and. He was really supportive of our music,
and I think one of the things that at least for us, that really solidifies in our minds our relationship with Bubba is kind of the immersion of Naked Noise. I think Ethan could tell the best version of kind of how that started to originate, but basically it actually started as kind of a three-way collaboration between two other bands, The Invisible Hand and.
Sunspells.
Yeah.
And we just were kind of friendly with the guys from those groups, and Jeff from Sunspells approached me and said, hey, what do you think of this kind of 9-person jam in the CSMA ballroom? And we were like, yes, absolutely, let's do it. What's the plan? Oh, we'll just throw up a couple projectors and we'll just jam and improvise.
Yeah, because it's kind of hard to explain to people
Yeah.
because it's not just a normal show. It's kind of an installation piece. So, like, how would you explain it to people who haven't seen it before? Kind of as like a I don't know, like as like a motivator to kind of check it out.
It's like a sound installation that's basically in the format of live music where the cohesion is that everybody's kind of trying to make one thing, but everybody's very distinctly different. Because also as a player, you can't necessarily hear what the person across on the other side of the room's doing because you're in between 10 other musicians.
Mm-hmm. And is it one continuous piece, or do you guys, take breaks?
We do 2 45-minute sets, and that's been the format pretty much from the beginning.
But musicians, at least for me, I know you know Mario, like sometimes just won't play. We'll play for 5 minutes. I often walk around and listen to other musicians, and I'm like, okay, I feel like it's time for me to make some more music again.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see it. A couple of us will be there tonight. And other than Naked Noise, like, what else do you guys have going on? Are you guys releasing music digitally on, actual physical copies, touring around?
We're hoarders. And we're about to have a little explosion very soon.
Yeah.
We have kind of the first 7 minutes from the album that we've been crafting for a while here for you guys today.
Awesome.
It kind of spans the gamut of, like, it starts off very ambient, and then it'll lean into, like, arranged rock, and then a little more experimental. It's chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So speaking of, you did bring in a song for us to play, so would you like to preempt it at all?
I mean, I think it speaks.
It speaks for itself.
I think it speaks for itself, yeah.
Awesome. Then, without further ado, thank you guys so much for coming in and talking with us.
Thank you for having us.
We are now going to play a song by Time Being here on VIC Radio.